That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat.
Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. All right, so it's been a little bit, ain't been too long, been about 2 weeks. But like I said in my post, well, if you've seen it on X, I was sick all last week. I don't know what I came down with. Didn't test positive for COVID nor the flu, but had one hell of a cough that kept me out of work for 2 days because I could barely sit up because I was so sore from coughing over the weekend. But yeah, man, now we got fake summer. No, sorry, fake spring #2 that has been going on all weekend long here in Charlotte, all week long here in Charlotte. So nose running, sneezing, all kind of crap. I mean, all kind of crap. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back. And let me tell you, um, as the thing right here says, Dan Morgan is cooking, y'all. Okay. Dan Morgan is cooking. He is literally in the kitchen, both hands in the pot, stirring everything around. Okay. Because I remember we got Jalen Phillips on and mind you, I was out of it to the point where I thought that the legal tampering period started on Tuesday. So, Big Cuz Tony called me and was like, "Hey man, you see we signed so and so." I'm like, "What you talking about?" He was like, "Jalen Phillips." I was like, "That's tomorrow, right?" He's like, "No, that's today." I said, "Well, I'll be damned, man." I was like, "I'll be damned." But we got Jalen Phillips, and then we played the waiting game all day long, to hear about Devin Lloyd. And then you saw Kobe Dean go to the Raiders, Quay Walker go to the Raiders, and a few more of the linebackers that a lot of us Panther fans wanted, going off the board as well. I'm not even gonna lie. I fell asleep and woke up, stomach hurting in the morning. So I go to the bathroom and I get on X, and next thing you know, Panthers signed Devin Lloyd. And I missed all of it. Everybody went live, everybody was celebrating. I was like, well, dang. So like I said, Dan Morgan is in the kitchen and he is cooking. And that's what I said, in the title of the videos, could this be, this is definitely one of the best Panther free agency periods, to start off with that we've had in years. I mean, years and years. Could it be the best one ever? I don't know. Y'all let me know. All right. Before I get going on here, again, thank everybody for joining. All right, I appreciate all the love and support. And if you haven't, all right, on your way in, on your way out, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Wherever you're watching, please subscribe. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Whatever platform you're watching on, like, follow as well. All right. Let me get into a few comments here. All right. Let me see. We got Michael Dennis. What's going on? How you doing? Let me see. Josh says keep pounding. Let me see. I don't know what that is. What's good, Earl? How you doing? What's going on with you? He said we winning the South again, and I hope so. I hope so. I swear I do. House Nicholas, what's going on? Said long time no ear, man. Good to see you back. About to sit and enjoy your content. Thanks, man. Keep it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Like I said, I was down with something, man. But I'm here. I'm back, ready to roll. Did you watch the Panthers Blueprint episode about Jalen Fields? No, I did not. I absolutely didn't. I have to go back and check that out. Said we have a real GM, CJ. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And for me, the thing I like about it the most, with Dan Morgan is, our I felt like our free agency periods and our drafts, under Scott Fitterer were really kind of random in a sense, not completely random, but some of the picks you just like, huh? Like drafts and in free agency, and you just like, oh, okay, we got this person, but why? All right. And we have been in, cap hell for a few years now. Okay. So now we are I would say that we are out of cap hell. I would say that. Now, mind you, we didn't have a lot of cap space going into this season because we have a lot of contracts on the books, that are 20 million plus. Okay. Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, Trayvon Merrick. Okay. So we got quite a few contracts that are taking up a chunk of our cap space. But what I have liked about Dan, since he has been here, he is filling in the pieces nicely in the draft as well. Okay. One of the better Panther drafts I think we've had this past year, in a long time. Players that came in, developed, starting, contributing, you know what I mean? So if we can get another draft like that this season, okay, things will get even better. All right. Um, and I also like the fact Dan, being a former football player, he knows what he's looking for, especially in this draft right here. Okay. We all know that in this past season, we were lacking at getting pressure on the quarterback. Okay. We were lacking at the linebacker spot as far as having somebody that not only could, go out there and tackle, occasionally rush the quarterback, you know, but play coverage. Okay, but play coverage. And the Panthers went out and got probably one of the best coverage linebackers in the league in Devin Lloyd. All right. And then they got one of the best edge rushers at getting pressure in Jalen Phillips. Now, his numbers didn't jump out the screen at you as far as sacks. He only had 5 sacks between the time that he spent with the Dolphins and the time that he spent with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. But the thing is, he gets pressure to the quarterback. And the one thing that I thought that we were lacking a lot last year was just that pressures. We had a lot of situations where the quarterback was back there and they just had time. They had all time in the world. I still go back to it's not as bad as it was the other year in that Baker game where Baker went through all 5 of his progressions and found his last wide receiver in the end zone for a touchdown. So it wasn't that bad. Okay. But still, you get a quarterback back there in the pocket, and your linebackers, your cornerbacks, your safeties. I mean, they can't cover forever. Okay. And the thing is, you're sitting back there, the quarterback's just waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay, cool. I got an opportunity. I got a space. Let me just throw this ball in. And that happened a lot. Excuse me. So hopefully, with the combination of what we have started off with, in free agency, edge rusher, linebacker, okay, maybe that will be something that won't be that glaring of a hole in our defense this season. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into some of these picks. Okay, not picks, but some of the signings. All right. Okay. So we got Jalen Phillips, y'all. All right. So Jalen Phillips got a 4-year, $120 million contract. All right. Now, if you average that out, that's $30 million per year. All right. Now, me and Tone was talking about this yesterday. Now, as you know, with a lot of our contracts, all right, a lot of the contracts, a lot of contracts, period. All right. You're going to get a team friendly first year. So you might get a base salary of say $6 million or so. They take a part of it, turn it into a signing bonus, and then at the second year on, excuse me, second year on, then that contract really hits. Then you get up into the 20, in his case, maybe $30 million, that you get per season for the rest of the contract. So what the Carolina Panthers did at the start of free agency, the Panthers only had $8 million. Okay, it had $8 million in cap space. Now, mind you, our draft picks and everything are already included in that. All right, so with the draft picks that we got now, all right, we got 7 picks. We got a first, second, third, um, Let me see, a first, second, third, fourth, two fifths, and a sixth. Okay. So we got our draft picks covered in the cap money already. Now that might change if the Panthers decide to trade back or trade up. We may lose a pick, we may gain a pick, but that's we'll figure that out when the draft gets here. All right. But what they did was, okay, first off, they let go of Ashawn Robinson, who coincidentally went and signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we're gonna have to see big Ashawn twice next year. But they let Ashawn Robinson go. That saved us $10 million towards the cap. All right. So that jumped it up to 18. Then what they did, they restructured Derek Brown's contract. Okay. They added 2 voided years to the end of his contract. $6 million total, $3 million that'll be paid out on each one of those last 2 seasons. That freed up $13 million worth of cap space. All right. So the Panthers were sitting at $31 million. All right. After they broke the news that they let Ashawn Robinson go and that they restructured Derek Brown's contract. Now, mind you, there's a couple free agents that I'm gonna get into in a minute that have taken that back down to, I want to say 29 and some change. Okay. The contracts for Devin Lloyd, Jalen Phillips, excuse me, Kenny Pickett, let me see, Luke Fortner, and it's one more person I'm thinking about. And I'll pull up over the cap here in a second, but they haven't been added on to the Panthers salary cap yet. Okay, as far as taking away from the cap space they have now. All right. But first off, let me know, what do y'all think about Jalen Phillips? Now, I've seen some mixed reviews, not mixed review, but some mixed comments about him. Some concern because he's coming off of 2 injuries. Now, mind you, he played all last year, but he had an Achilles injury the year before that, and I can't remember what the injury was back in 2023. But let me know let me know in the chat, how do y'all feel about the Panthers getting Jalen Phillips? Okay. The one thing I like about his game and the little bit of tape that I've seen, he's fast. He can come around the edge. He can get pressure. He knows how to get leverage. You see tape of him getting his arm up under, getting around left and right tackles. You see tape of him lining up as defensive tackle, getting pressure up the middle. You also see tape of him with a lovely bull rush as well. Okay. You see tape of him where he just overpowers the offensive lineman in front of him and gets to the quarterback. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, okay, if PFF is correct here, all right, and let me bring up PFF here. Okay, so his overall grade from last year, 74. Pass rush grade, 77.1. Run defense, 59.4. All right, 5 sacks, 34 total tackles. But if y'all look at the number right here, look where it says total pressures. Okay, 73 total pressures. And I hope that's right, because I know there was another stat, but I went and looked up somebody else that was wrong. 73 total pressures. Okay. And yes. Michael, he Phillips disrupts QBs. Yes. There's a clip of him knocking down the pass from Kenny Pickett, who the Carolina Panthers picked up as well. All right. And actually, I think he did it on 2 straight plays, but he definitely gets to the quarterback and he disrupts the flow of the quarterback. Okay. And that's what we've been sorely lacking. You're not going to get to the quarterback on every play, but if you can make that quarterback uncomfortable, get that quarterback unsettled, potentially get him out of the pocket, some of these, not as mobile quarterbacks as some of the other ones in the league, you get them out the pocket, they have to run, you can go and chase them down, play over, get off the field, get the offense on the field, and move on from there. You know what I mean? So we lacked a lot of that last year. We lacked the pressure. And then the thing is, mind you, if Jalen Phillips can come in here and replicate the pressure that he got last year with us on our defense, pressure from one side might lead to sacks from another side. Okay, it might lead to sacks from up the middle. Big Derek Brown, and hell, whoever's going to be starting next to him, Bobby Brown. Okay, excuse me. I'm sorry, I keep coughing. I'm still having some remnants from whatever I had. But and my thing is this: Evero ain't got no excuses this year for not playing Bobby Brown more. Okay, he has no excuse for not playing Bobby Brown the third more this season. I think you'll see a lot of him, a lot more of him on the field this year. All right. Let me go back here. A couple comments. Yes, Earl, I appreciate y'all. Hey, if y'all are watching, make sure y'all hit that like button. Okay. I appreciate the support. All right. Panthers boy said, Curtis Payne Jr., my what's up, man? How you doing? Mm. I'm going Dylan or McNeil at 19. I got you, Turner. I got you. He said Mechie. Yeah, we did sign John Mechie as well. Said if he can stay healthy, I love it. Facts. Facts. If he doesn't have any injury concerns this year, I think this is going to be, a good signing. I also heard a lot of people kind of down on this because especially after Max. Did y'all see Max Crosby got traded to the Ravens? Okay. Then the Ravens backed out of the trade because he failed a physical. All right. Then they went out and signed Trey Hendrickson. Okay. And from what I read, Trey Hendrickson thought that the plan was for him and Max Crosby to become teammates in Baltimore. And I'm just like, yo, that would have been wild. All right. But back to the contract. A lot of people were saying, well, my God, we paid Jalen Phillips $120 million. And the Ravens paid Trey Hendrickson, I think like $112 million. Okay. But with that, y'all gotta remember, all right. You gotta remember that Jalen Phillips is 26, about to be 27, I think, before the season start. He's going into his second contract. Trey Hendrickson is 31, about to be 32. Okay. So he is younger. A lot of people are comparing it. I kept hearing Brian Burns. Brian Burns this, Brian Burns that, Brian Burns the third. And I saw somebody comment and said, well, you know what? Brian Burns, the money that Brian Burns would have got back then is not the same money today. Okay. Now, mind you, I didn't particularly like that move when they traded him. I always said they should have went ahead and I'm sorry, they should have went ahead and traded him the first time when the Rams were willing to give 2 first-round picks for him. Okay, they should have pulled the trigger on it with that. They didn't want to do it. Then they waited, and then they got the trade with the Giants, which I still think we didn't get fair compensation for him in that trade. But that's another story. But everybody's, complaining about Brian Burns this, Brian Burns that. Man, let me tell you, Brian Burns ain't here no more. Okay, so we're gonna have to move on. All right, but like Josh said right here, if he can stay healthy, I think this contract was worth it. Okay. Now you pair Phillips with a Nick Scorton. Okay. You have Princely Umamielen. You also have Patrick Jones II, who will be coming back off of injury this coming up season as well. All right. We also brought back what's the man name? Trey Gibson, too. He was signed back. So, now I don't know if the Panthers are going to add another edge rusher, in the draft. If they do, I wouldn't be mad at it. We'll see how the chips fall with that. But right now, I do like the direction that our edge rushers, our room of edge rushers are going with the signing of Jalen Phillips. All right. Let me see here. Michael Dennis said Phillips will fit in well in the locker room. He is already buzzed with Robert Hunt, and he heard good things about Evero. Watch the Blueprint episode. Okay, gotcha. I will. Like I said, I haven't watched the episode yet, but I'll check it out. And a lot of time, and I know we talk a lot of. I ain't gonna say we. I talk a lot of cash junk about Evero. You know what I mean? But the thing is, if it's players like him. Hell, that's a good thing because I'm pretty sure that was, that contributed to us getting Jalen Phillips here, and one hell of a contract. All right. Nader, what's going on? We need to draft offensive tackle. I agree. I agree. Rock Jones, what's up? Keep pounding cousins and hope Dan Cooks in the draft too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I don't believe the Ravens took too long to respond, and they only did what they did after the market for Henderson dried up. Okay, like I always like to say, you never know. You never know. Never know. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. But yeah, so Jalen Phillips, I think is going to be a big difference maker for this Panthers defense this year. Like we always said, as long as he can stay healthy, everything will be okay. All right, as far as Jalen Phillips. Okay. Now, let me go back to this, and we are going to take a look at Devin Lloyd. Okay, Devin Lloyd. 3-year, $45 million contract. Okay, average of $15 million per year. Now, what I heard is that it took so long because Devin Lloyd was trying to wait out and get more money. I think that they were looking for around $20 million per year. But at the end of the day, I think the Panthers were aggressive enough with their offer to him. Okay. And I'm just gonna guess that the other offers that he have, Carolina still had the best offer on the table. They were aggressive enough that they put their offer on the table and their offer lasted and they were able to get Devin Lloyd. All right. So, like I said, I went to bed after that first day, and I was like, "Dang!" I said, "You know what?" I said, "I hope we get Devin Lloyd." But as the day went on, I wasn't really sure, and I thought this might be a Milton Williams situation, kind of like last year. You know what I mean? But like I said, woke up the next morning, saw that he was a Panther. I was just like, "Yo, Dan Morgan, you are all right with me, all right with me." Hey, somebody else who was all right with me, Mr. Hunky Dory, man. I greatly appreciate you for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody who is now, a member, welcome to the front office. All right. And as again, I thank all y'all for your love and support. Mr. Hunky Dory, as always, my guy, appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Okay. All right, so let's look at Devin Lloyd on PFF. All right, overall grade of 89.1, run defense 83.2, pass rush 82.2, coverage grade. Okay, coverage grade. All right, let me say that again. Coverage grade 81.1. Okay, if Devin Lloyd can come in, Devin Lloyd can stay healthy. I think he might even have a big no, let me say he's going to have a bigger impact on this defense than Jalen Phillips. Okay. All right, because you think about we had Trevin Wallace, who's really not developing, in my opinion, the way that I think the Panthers wanted him to. We had uh, Christian Roseboom, okay, who if you just bring him in the game and send him on the blitz, most of the time he does really good if he can slow down enough to make a tackle. He missed quite a few sacks this past season, running past quarterbacks, who he had him dead to rights. Okay, and he just missed the tackle. Okay. Um, then I think the thing that messed it up for this linebacker room at the start of last season was Josie Jewell, who retired. He had the I think the concussion issues that he was trying to work out, and he just had to take season off. Don't know if he'll be able to come back anywhere this season. Haven't heard anything about it, but we'll see. But I don't think we had that, quote unquote leader in the defensive in the linebacker room. Okay. And I do think that we have it now in Devin Lloyd. All right. And even still, we got Devin Lloyd. Christian Roseboom is a free agent. All right. Don't know if he's coming back. We still got Trevin Wallace. Don't be surprised if the Panthers go out and pick up a linebacker still in the draft. I would still want them to go pick up a linebacker. Okay. Now that the combine is out of the way, all right, there's a lot of these players who you would see in PFF mock draft, they would consistently be in the second round. They would consistently be in the third round. Okay. Even the guys that are first round picks, a lot of them from say like maybe like the 10th pick on down. A lot of them who are getting picked in that range are moving up. So these mock drafts are going to look a lot different. I had one earlier today. Jacob Rodriguez was always available at pick 91. 97% of the drafts that I did one earlier today. He was gone before the 51st pick. Okay. I'm sorry, 96 pick that we got, but he was gone before the 51st pick. All right. So these things have changed. Teams have gotten looks at these they've got to take a look at these guys, at the combine. They've interviewed them, they've talked to them, so a lot of this positioning is going to change. Also, especially after free agency now. Okay? So, but yeah. But I think that Devin Lloyd is going to be the not the whole missing piece, but but a big chunk of it. Okay, a big chunk of it. All right. Let me see here. Let me see. Ernest Kapu, what's going on with you? Hall of Fame, August 2026, Carolina. Yeah, the Panthers are in the Hall of Fame game. Okay. So we will get to see them first out this season, in the preseason. Um, I am I excited about it? It's what it is. It's what it is. But I one thing I am excited about seeing Luke Kuechly get into the Hall of Fame. I think as well deserved. I think he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. There was no reason that he shouldn't have been on that ticket last year. Okay, but he's there now, so congrats to Luke. The Panthers get to play in front of him, and I know it's the Hall of Fame game, but my God, I hope they go out there and win. All right. 15 mil was a good damn deal. Yes, it was. Yeah, yes, it was. Devin Lloyd is all I wanted in free agency, so I'm good now. I hear you, Michael. I hear you. I hear you. Roger said, thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory. M7J7. Keep pounding. What's going on with you? All right. Say you welcome. He was the best covering tight end plus 5 sacks. Okay, got you. Talking about Mr. Phillips. Wallace is developing, but not into a starting, but quality backup or rotational piece. Facts, facts. Oh, and also, the Panthers did not put a tender on Claudin Shirellis as well, so he is now a free agent and free to go out there and sign with whoever he wants to. Okay, so keep an eye on that as well. All right, and I said facts. Marcos Cash, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? Appreciate you joining, man. Appreciate you joining. He said, "What up, Panther Nation?" Uh, M7J7. Wallace might be better beside a talent like Lloyd. Facts, facts. He just might. Now mind you, if he can stay healthy, okay, if he can stay healthy, he has had injury problems his first 2 seasons, so we'll have to see. But I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. I said we on top. We ain't there yet. We ain't there yet, Earl. We ain't there yet. But it's looking good. Okay, it's looking good. And then let me tell you, the thing that I like about how the defense looks now, mind you, okay, now I'm gonna say this. All right. Now, a lot of people, including me at one point, I was just like, okay, whatever was here, we got to get him the talent on defense. All right. I think they have done that so far in free agency, and I don't think they're done quite yet. And we have the draft to go along with it. All right. So for me now, I think Evero's hot seat is cooled off just a little bit for now. But now there's gonna be a lot of pressure, on Bryson the offense. Okay. And I say that because we were a middle of the pack, I think 15th or 16th ranked defense last year. Okay. Now, mind you, the way it's looking, that's going to get better. I hope. But if you look at it right now, what we've done, you got to think this defense is going to improve. So now it's time for this offense to improve as well. We have been in the 20s as far as the offense the past 2 years. All right. A little bit better last year than in 2024, but not much. All right. This offense is coming up season has got to get out of the bottom of the barrel. All right. And they have had games, especially last year, where they put up some damn good numbers. Okay. But the consistency factor has to be something that they work on this off season and go out there this year and be able to implement. You get what I'm saying? You can't go out there and throw for 400 yards and then the next game you throwing for 100. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe with Brad Isaac taking over the play calling, Dave Canales giving it up. Maybe this will be something that will help. And I forgot my man's name that they signed. Darn it, the guy who's coming over to help on the offensive side, but I forgot his damn name. But maybe he can help with that as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Rock Jones said we just need to find somebody to replace Nikki Tricky Scott. You know what? And the fact that they haven't re-signed him yet, I don't know if he's coming back. Okay. I don't know, but I'm going to wait until I'm gonna wait, until it doesn't happen. All right. And like I said, I talk cash money junk about Nick Scott in 2024. In 2025, I gotta say he definitely improved. He was definitely a better player. Still had his moments, but he did not put the same tape on the field in 2025 that he did in 2024. But if the Panthers do go out and upgrade that position, I'm not going to be mad. Not gonna be mad at all. And I think they might do it in the draft as well, because you think about it. I hear a lot of people say, we got Lathan Ransom. We do have Lathan Ransom, but Lathan Ransom is a strong safety. Okay. So what you would see a lot of times when they would slide Trayvon Merrick down that big nickel spot, Lathan Ransom would take over his strong safety spot, and then you had Nick Scott, on his free safety spot. Okay. And then sometimes you might see Shaw Smith way back there as well. Depending on down and distance and what Everett was trying to do. But if Nick Scott doesn't come back, I think we are going to be in the market for a free safety. I know a lot of people are talking about Nickelback as well, but don't forget, okay, don't forget, Corey Thornton will be back next year as well. And when Corey Thornton got in the game and got more playing time, you saw what he could do in the I'm gonna say short, but the limited amount of time he got on the field before he got hurt. I think, in my opinion, he was a better option, than Shao Smith Wade. All right. So we'll see what they do with Corey Thornton coming back, see if they add on to that, and see how that looks. All right. Let me see. I saw it before. I saw it before. Yes, sir. I saw. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Let me see. Swinky 7846. I really want to see a good blocking tight end. I got you. Now, me personally, I think we do have a good blocking tight end in Tommy Tremble. I want to say you're probably the first one I've seen, say something about seeing a good blocking tight end. The majority of what I've heard is everybody wants, a dynamic, weapon at tight end, like, Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. A lot of people wants to draft him at 19, or go out and pick up Njoku. I don't know if he signed, or the other guy that I think that was with the Titans. But he did sign with somebody else. And I forgot who that was. Let me see. SC Pace, what's going on? So what's good, CJ? Amazing free agency. But all I gotta say is that left tackle we signed should never ever see the field. Watching him on film looks like he plays on roller skates. I'm going to get to that in just a couple slides here. All right. Appreciate you joining, man. Appreciate you joining. Said 100% we need. Yep. A good Nickelback. Look at this photograph. It took me a second to catch that. It took me a second to catch that. Man, let me say, a lot of people talk junk about Nickelback. I actually like them. I could, I can jam out to a little bit of Nickelback, man. Let me see. I hear Smith Wade may play more at free safety. He might, but if that's the move that they do with him, I still think they bring in somebody else. Maybe in the draft. Offensive tackle from Cleveland may be a cheap, reasonable pickup. Okay. Okay. Sweeps and tosses, need good blocking tight end, play action, short yardage. I agree. All right. But Devin Lloyd, big pickup. Like I said, I think he takes our linebacker room and instantly elevates it. Okay, instantly makes it better. All right. And I don't think the Panthers are done, because, like I said, Roseboom is a free agent. We still got Trevor Wallace. Vaughn Sherrill is now a free agent. Okay, and he's not well, and as of now, he's not back. That may change. So we'll see. We'll see. Roy, what's going on, man? How you doing? What's going on with you, big dog? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get back to the slides here. All right. So next slide. All right. John Michie the third. Okay, John Michie the third. What do y'all think about the Panthers picking him up? Okay. Now, I think this is kind of interesting. I know we got XL, and I know everybody wants XL gone. We also got Jimmy Horn as well. So y'all let me know, where do y'all think, that Mechie's gonna fit in? I'm sure he probably be mainly out of the slot. You know what I mean? But so now we have Tedero McMillan, all right, Jalen Coker, XL, Bryson Tremaine, David Moore, who the Panthers re-signed. Okay, David Moore. You got John Mechie, and you got Jimmy Horn. That's 7 wide receivers. All right. I don't think somebody is going to make it. I don't know if we're going to carry 7 wide receivers. Okay. And especially after this, I highly doubt they pick up one in the draft. PFF still has us as a need, as wide receiver as a need in the draft. I don't know if we pick one up. Oh, and my bad, and his contract. So he signed a 1-year, $1.9 million contract as well. And if we take a look at over the cap real quick, and let me put this back up here on the screen for y'all. But if we take a look at over the cap, so over the cap does have John Mechie's contract details on here. So if just if he doesn't make it, the Panthers will save $900,000. Okay, dead cap of 1 million, save $900,000. All right. So let's see, let me get that off the screen here. But yeah, but y'all let me know what y'all think, because I'm kind of, to mind you, we all know that him and Bryce played at Alabama. A lot of great tape on them, at Alabama. But his career was derailed a little bit when he got into the league. If I'm not mistaken. Tony told me this earlier. He had what was it? Leukemia or something, messed up his rookie season. You know what I mean? Um, don't know if that, don't know how that's affected him since. I don't know if it's more of a thing where he just needs an opportunity. Like I said, this is a pretty, we got a lot of wide receivers. So I don't know how he's gonna come in here and, find a foothold, make a spot for him. But I'm not saying that he won't. Not saying that he won't. I hope he does, but somebody is probably not gonna make it through training camp. All right. Let me go back up here. The original Panthers fan podcast. What's going on with you? Do you think we get a starting caliber left tackle in free agency? Let me see. All right. Because um okay. So I think the options left out there for Carolina. I know I'm going off topic here, but Taylor Decker, Rasheed Walker, and Cam Robinson. All right. Cam Robinson would be the last person on that list for me that I would want. I wouldn't mind Rasheed Walker, but if I'm not mistaken, Rasheed Walker is probably going to want more than just like a 1-year contract. He's probably going to want a substantial deal, and we don't know if the Panthers are going to rework any more contracts, free up any more salary cap space. And Taylor Decker, from the Lions. The Lions cut Taylor Decker. Okay, now mind you, that would be somebody that I wouldn't mind the Panthers picking up as well. But it's all about what kind of contract they want, and how we go from there. Okay. Let me see. Mighty Mouse needs cousin Speedy Gonzalez. The way everybody getting excited about Michi, I better not hear one complaint if Horn get cut. And that's the thing too. That's the thing. Now, mind you, I think Jimmy Horn could have been utilized a little bit more last season. Okay. But again, like I always say, that's why I'm sitting here in my shed, my nice finished shed that I did myself, talking to you guys. Okay. That's why I'm the armchair GM CJ. I'm sitting out here in my chair talking to you guys. All right. So I'm not the coach. I don't know why Jimmy Horn didn't get more playing time. But like I said, somebody's gonna get cut. If John Michie comes in here and impresses and has a great training camp, I don't disagree with this. I don't. They may cut Jimmy Horn. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. Um, But he said he's good, cheap. He's a good, cheap experiment. Probably here because of his history with Bryce. I don't hate it. It's worth a shot. Facts. I agree. I agree. For Mechie for the price, good deal. Send XL to practice squad. No trade value, but still has potential. Yo, that let me tell you, I don't think they're gonna send XL to the practice squad. If anything happens with XL this season, he'll be traded. Okay. I think that's the only way XL is not, I don't think they put him on the practice squad. If they're gonna do anything with XL, I think trading him is probably the only option. I doubt they'll release him. I highly doubt they'll release him. But I also think that the Panthers, still have a lot of faith in XL. All right. Now I know, a lot of fans are, just done with him. I mean, they call him this man extra lotion and all kind of crap. I can't lie. I laughed the first time I heard that, but it's crazy. Let me see. I could be wrong, but I think Michi can return kicks. Yes, he can return kicks as well. But it was funny. I was talking to Tony earlier. He said, man, he said I seen Michi taping him, and he botched 4 punt returns. So we'll see. We'll see. Michi or XL to practice squad. I meant. Got you. Okay, I got you. Punter returner. We need a threat again, like Ted Ginn Jr. We damn sure do. We damn, because let me tell you, if I see Trevor Etienne back there returning punts again this year, I think I'm literally gonna blow a fuse. Literally. Um I think Michi is a show us something before final cuts deal. Facts. Facts. Yep. Josh said, yeah, I think Michi is competing for wide receiver 3. Okay. Okay. Got you. Say, yo, Josh, what's up? It's been a while. Have you seen Phil's blueprint yet? No, I have not. I have not. I gotta go check that out. Because I think you're the second person that's pointed that out to me. I appreciate y'all though, but I have not. Let me see. Everybody keep wanting XL to be the odd man out. That's just not happening yet. Now, and that I agree with. That I agree with. All right. I still think the Panthers feel like there's a lot of tread on the tires, as they say, with XL. So, I think, XL is gonna be out there next year. That's coming up here. I mean, let me see. Okay, you told me. Man, let me see. Somebody would sign. Yeah, exactly. They sign him in a heartbeat. Transition XL to tight end. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Let me see. You talking about Caden? You talking about a man from Alabama? Says, wow, you might be right. Wow. Evero can't wait to drop Phillips back in coverage. Say his blueprint is so far. Okay, I'll make sure I go check that out when I get off here because I am off of work tomorrow. I took tomorrow and Monday off because speaking like of sheds again, I'm building me another one. So I got this one that I'm in now. Tough Shed came and built the shed for us, and then I finished the inside of it. Did all the drywall, ran the electrical and all that. But I had a shed. I got all my garden tools and my lawnmower stuff in that I built years ago. And looking at it now, I'm like, damn, I messed that thing up. I built it so wrong. I mean, so wrong. So now on the back side of this, right behind me on the other side of that wall there, I'm building another one so I can take everything that I want to keep out of there, put it in this one, and then I'm gonna tear that down, and then my backyard gonna be a straight shot all the way back to the fence. I'm gonna get my I'm gonna get my landscaper hat back on, and I'm gonna get my yard right. I got my gazebo for my grills and everything. So let me tell you, it's gonna be some cookouts here this summer, y'all. It's gonna be some cookouts. All right, but back to back to the lecture at hand. All right. Let me see. I do think running back room wise, they're putting a lot of faith in Brooks. This is true. This is very, very, very true. But my thing is, he's had a whole year to recover. Okay. I would go as far as to agree with Tony when we were doing the show together. and his kind of caution bringing Jonathan Brooks back too soon. Okay. But he's had like a whole year, probably a year and a half now, to recover. And I think if the Panthers had any issues like that, we probably would have saw a signing. Um, um, what's my man name? Rashad White from Tampa Bay, but he went to the Commanders. I think that would have been a perfect pickup if they had any worries about Jonathan Brooks. So we'll have to see about Jonathan Brooks though. So XL do not block well enough to be a tight end. Got you, got you, got you, got you. Phillips did say can play coverage. That's all I'll say. I got you, got you, got you, got you. As of right now, what position do you think we would draft in the first round? Okay, let me say y'all this. Me personally, and I know there's a lot of people, especially on hold on one second, y'all. One second. Okay. A lot of people, especially on X, are I see a lot today. They are like, "Oh my God, please don't let us go out there and draft a tackle, at number 19. We don't need two first round tackles on the team." Let me tell you, if I'm the Panthers and all I have is Stone Forsyth on the roster and I don't bring in anybody else, okay? Left a tackle. Okay, a tackle because you know what in SC Pace I'm gonna bring this back up on the next slide. Let me get done with John Michi here. All right, I'm gonna get through these comments first. But I'm gonna swing back to you on that one. CJ the contract man. Hey, let me tell you, you damn right, dog. Hey, I'm a bad man. Let me tell you, I'm YouTube certified, dog. And I say that jokingly, but when I say if I can watch a video of it on YouTube and it makes sense to me, I will try it. Okay. And if I get that feeling like I don't know what I'm doing and I shouldn't be doing it, I won't try it. Yeah. But let me tell you, yeah, I will build damn near anything. So yeah, they should try XL at tight end. Jimmy can return punts and he fast. Say, imagine that, Josh. Say, yeah, Horn, I think is going to be the return guy. Okay. Frank Gore, only running back I seen towards ACL twice and look good. Mm. Okay. Okay. We should draft Caleb Banks. He's the best pass rushing defensive tackle in the draft. Now, okay, speaking of Caleb Banks, oh, so he suffered a foot injury as after the combine or during the combine. So I don't know if it's a broken foot or something like that, a broken bone in his foot, but how that affects his draft stock, that's yet to be seen. 'Cause I think they said he's going to be out until at least June. So we'll see. So he does have an injury. I think they're looking at first offensive tackle first round. Facts. Center and tackle looks like our main concerns. Now, mind you, okay, you know what? Like I said, let me get this out of the way. We definitely need O-line help since Josh retired. This is true. This is true. All right. So John Mechie, all right. I think we all like this pickup. It could be a lot of potential. Him, Bryce, like I said, they got a rapport with each other, they know each other, and we'll see what comes out of it. We'll see what comes out of it. Because right now I'm kind of just sitting back like you know what I mean? Like I don't have a clear vision of what they're going to do with this wide receiver room past Ted Coker, XL, and Bryson Tremaine. You got to throw Bryson Tremaine in there, all right? Because I don't think he's gonna be one of those ones just like, oh, we're just gonna let him go. All right. I think he's put in enough work, to be here for another season. So we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. All right. Excuse me. Now, really quick. Okay, Kenny Pickett. All right. Signed a 1 year, $7.5 million deal. And the Panthers said that they wanted to get younger at the quarterback position behind Bryce Young. All right, so let me see. Hold on. See if Andy Dalton is still on the roster. Okay, Andy Dalton is still on the roster, all right. And he has as a cap hit of $5.8 million. All right, so if the Panthers were to let him go as a pre-June 1st cut, they would only save $151,000. All right. Now, if they designated him as a post June 1st cut, they would save $2 million. All right. But like I said, I don't know what's going on with Andy Dalton. I don't know if this is the type of thing where Kenny Pickett's gonna have to come in here and compete with Andy Dalton. Okay, and then they make their decision. Then I don't know if there's any kind of a excuse me, any kind of a trade market for Andy Dalton out there. Being he's 39 years old. So we'll see. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, look at Joe Flacco last year. You know, so it's all yet to be determined, but we'll see how that's gonna go. All right, but like I said, now I'm not gonna get into too much about Kenny Pickett. You know, it's Kenny Pickett. You know, he's here. He's competing to be the backup quarterback. All right. Okay. But the two gentlemen on the right side of the slide, all right, you got Luke Fortner. He signed a 1 year, $4.7 million deal. All right. He would not be here if Cade Mays did not leave and go to the Lions. And I think I saw a clip earlier where Cade Mays said, it was all about the fit. He wanted to go to a team where he thought that the scheme fit his abilities, and that was the Detroit Lions. Okay. So apparently, Cade Mays did not feel like the Panther scheme fit his abilities. Okay. That's what I get from all this. All right. That's what I get from all this. He didn't fit in, his abilities didn't fit in with the Panther scheme. I thought he did a damn good job. I really did. But even though I still think he did a damn good job, but obviously, the Panther scheme was not particularly to Cade Mays' liking. Okay. If he did say that. Okay, if he did say that. All right. Luke Fortner. Now let me get him up here on. All right, let me pull him up on PFF. Okay. So, all right. So not terrible last year. 66.5 overall grade, 65.3 run blocking, 72.5 pass blocking. He had 3 penalties and allowed 3 sacks. Okay. Now, my thoughts with Luke Fortner and Stone Forsyth as well. All right. For right now, um Luke is the center. Forsyth is the left tackle because Icky is hurt. Yash Nyman retired. Cade Mays is gone. Austin Corbett and Brady Christensen, who both play center for the Carolina Panthers, are free agents and they have not signed with anybody. Okay. So as of right now, I think these are, kind of space fillers slash future depth. Okay. Future depth. And again, even with now Luke Fortner's contract is not it's a 1 year, $4.7 million deal, but the details of it are not on over the cap or spot track yet. But I do think it's another situation where, if they were to cut him, like after camp or whatever for last cuts, it wouldn't be that big of a blow to the Panthers salary cap. Okay. Because me personally, I still think there are a few good centers out there, in this draft. My man from Iowa, can't think of his name. You got Pat Coogan from Indiana. So the draft might be somewhere that the Panthers go, as well. I wouldn't completely hate Luke Fortner being the starting center if we go into the season, but we'll have to see. Okay. Now, my thought process is I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world, especially if they don't go center in the draft. And I know a lot of y'all probably gonna throw something at me when I say this. Bring Austin Corbett back, let him play center. All right. I think he did better at center than he did at guard. All right. Even Brady Christensen, he plays center as well. Maybe bring him back. All right. So, but we'll see. But Luke Fortner, not terrible. Okay, not terrible. But right now, I think he's just kind of a placeholder for the moment. All right, let me see. Tabrina 13. Go Chiefs. All right. Do you player? K didn't want to compete again. True. But the thing is, though, I think if K stayed, K wouldn't have had to compete. The job was his. He was the starting center. He came back last at the beginning of last season, got that job. That job was his. He missed a couple games, but it wasn't a situation where he missed a couple games, had to come back, sit on the bench. K Mays was the starting center. He was going to come back and be the starting center. So we'll see. We'll see. It said Luke's ball head is blind and get some sun, dude. Sunshine is free. Why no looking? Oh God, terrible timing about Yash retiring. Yes, 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 yes. I said, why did Yash retire so fast? I don't know. I do not know. Uncle Leroy, what's going on? Said nephew Curtis Payne. It's been a minute. Yeah, it ain't been that long. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks. I got you. I got you. He said tiny hands. I hear rumors of Yash potentially returning to the org in a coaching capacity in the future too. I hadn't heard that, but hey, we'll see. Said nephew, I see you growing out your fro. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little something with it. Trying to do a little something. I gotta go back to the barber again because my little fade I got on the sides is about gone now. So I got to set up something. Probably not this weekend because I'm gonna be working on that shed all weekend. But yeah, I'm trying to look something a little different. Something a little different. If Sadiq there at 19, he will be a Panther. Um, I don't know. Okay. Now, okay, I'm gonna say this. If K Mays was still our starting center, okay, and even if Icky was still out, if K Mays was still here, I would not be mad at that at 19. Okay, I wouldn't be totally mad, but if you get him at 19, I think at 51 you gotta pick a left tackle. Okay, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. Let me see. See, black man drop top. What's going on? So I'm not worried about Luke. Our O-line coach is better than the Saints O-line coach. The Saints O-line coach used to be at Seattle, and they were ranked 30th in the league. Got you. Okay, I got you. Leroy said, I'd rather have Luke Fortner at center because Corbett can't protect shit, even if a box of condoms was in his pocket. That boy can't protect. I'm sorry. Oh God, leave let your soul glow. Leroy, you stupid. Oh God, Stone hasn't played. Stone hasn't even signed his contract. I don't know what's going on with him and the Panthers. If I'm not mistaken, he has. Okay, he has. I saw a picture of it earlier. Him sitting in front of the mural in the background, and he got pen and paper. I think he has signed his contract, but they haven't released the full details of the contract, so it's not on Spot Track over the cap yet. I'm so excited to see this defense this season, top 10 easy. And let me say, it was a point this past season where the Panthers had a top 10 defense. Top 10 defense. Few injuries, few things didn't go our way, but yeah, on paper, I think we should be a top 10 defense. I think Sadiq is a fan want to. I don't think Canales uses tight ends enough. Yeah, 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 yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Us getting Michi, I think is going to be clutch, nephew, and they need to cut off that damn diarrhea shit, Scott. Oh God. Chucktown Panther 843. What's going on? Please, another tackle besides Stone Fold. He said Stone Fold. I love it. I love it. That is great. Just a warning, don't look at I gotta bring it up here. Gotta bring it up here. Gotta bring it up here. Okay. Look, just because you said that. All right. So Luke Fortner, like I said, right now, shit, he's the only center we got on the roster, if I'm not mistaken. So like I said, I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if he was our starting center, but I don't in my mind right now, I don't think he's gonna be our starting center come the start of the regular season. But we'll see. We shall see. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into and I got let me see. All right, here we go. Boy, boy. Stone Forsyth, okay, from the Raiders. This man played 13 games and allowed, hold on, 11 sacks, y'all. 11 sacks, bruh. Okay, and the crazy thing is, so I'm like, overall grade of 52.2, 53.6 in pass blocking, 56.1 in run blocking. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go back, see what we did in 2024. Ass cheeks. All right, we go on back. Ass cheeks, except for the run blocking grade. All right, it's okay. 2022, triple ass cheeks. All right. 2021. Oh, okay. He did good. Then you go down there and see. Now he had six. No, my bad. Hold on. Let me go back to stats. He had 14 snaps at right tackle. Okay. So I mean, I'm all about giving everybody a fair shot. Okay, I'm all about getting everybody a fair shot. But hear me and hear me now. All right. Let me see, but the 30 so y'all, 40 so y'all that are watching. And by the way, those of y'all that are watching, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like and follow me on all social media at Armchair GMCJ. All right. I appreciate the support. But hear me now. Hear me now. Everybody that's listening to my voice. There's no way in God's green earth, this guy is going to be our starting left tackle at the beginning of the season. Okay. And the thing is, he might not even make it on the roster. Okay, because let me go back now. And they got his contracts detailed up there as well. 1 year, I'm sorry, 1 year, $2 million. All right, if he gets cut, Panthers have a dead cap of 1 million, but they saved $950,000. Okay. So like I said, I don't think it's a guarantee that he's even going to be on the roster. All right. And my thing is, my man is 6'9", 312 pounds. Okay. 6'9", and as Mr. Holloway used to say at a job I used to work at, 312 pounds. Okay. 312 pounds. He is light in the ass. And everybody that clip that's been going around, it doesn't surprise me. He ain't got nothing to anchor himself to the ground. I mean, to be honest with you, I think if I got my ass out there and got a good run at him, I'm pretty sure I could push him back about 5 or 6 yards. You know what I mean? I just this let me tell you, this is the only pickup that I'm looking at Dan Morgan and be like, bruh, did you have to go home for a little bit and left somebody else in charge and you came back? And I hope you was like, who in the shit is this that y'all just said we signed? Dan Morgan on his way back to the stadium and get a notification on Twitter like the Panthers signed who? I don't know. I don't know. But like my man said about our offensive line coach, maybe maybe we can see what they can do. And also our offensive line coach was down at Clemson's pro day today, working out with their left tackle, I forgot his name, and the right tackle, Blake Miller. Okay. So let me pull take this over here. Okay. So this is kind of my thoughts on the whole left tackle situation as well. All right. My man Caden Proctor from Alabama at 19, I wouldn't be mad at it. Okay, wouldn't be mad at it at all. But here's something that is just kind of my thoughts on it. All right, if the Panthers go out there and get the best tackle they can find at 19, and they get somebody they have sat down with, talked to, been to their pro day, just maybe you get somebody who comes in, even if they're a right tackle. All right, even they're a right tackle, they come in and maybe they can play left tackle for a year. Okay, and I know that's asking a lot because somebody who has played their whole career at right tackle, even though a lot of people think of it as, oh, you're just going from one side to the other, there is a lot: technique, footwork, tendencies, hand placement. You know what I mean? Just your overall balance that you would have to, readjust your settings to for the left side of the offensive line. So it's not like you just sliding somebody over. We had Yash Nyman who could go, who's a swing tag, who do left and right, but that was something that he done his whole career. You know, now mind you, just think about a Blake Miller. Blake Miller, he played I think his freshman year, I think he played a few hundred snaps at left tackle. Okay. So just think about this as a potential scenario. We draft the best tackle that we can find in the draft, somebody who's willing to come in here, maybe switch over to left tackle. You get a good year out of him at left tackle. Just say Icky comes back. Icky's good to go. He's back to, close to the way he was. And I say close to the way he was only because of that injury that he's had. Now, he completely ruptured, tore his patella tendon. Now, as somebody myself, I partially tore mine. Okay. I got in the car at work one day and pushed myself up in the seat, and I hate telling this story because I had to have knee surgery in the dumbest way possible. I was sitting up in the damn seat in the car and I felt something pop in my knee. And 3 days later, I could barely pick my leg up. So my wife took me to the doctor and they were like, yeah, you got a partially torn tendon. We're going to have surgery tomorrow. Okay. So now I know from personal experience how my knee has felt, over the years. Now, mind you, yes, I should have my fat ass in the gym, trying to get healthier, losing some of this weight, but it's days where it feels like my knee is going to fall off sometimes. And there's other days where I don't have no issues with it at all. You know what I mean? So I can just imagine him completely tearing that thing. And I know they say that's a particular peculiar injury as well. Happened to Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham, who was with Seattle at the time, the tight end. So that's why I say, potentially being back the way he was because of the injury that Icky had. But just say he comes back, he's good to go. Then you got somebody that you just drafted that might be a potential replacement for Taylor Moton, if when his contract is up. Okay. So like I said, that's just a thought that I had. Don't know if that's going to come to fruition, at all. But like I always like to say, anything is possible and you never know. So, but we'll see what the Panthers going to do. But let me tell you this. That dude over there, nah, bro. I know I don't know you from a can of paint. You probably a great guy, but the PFF right here and that film that we got that we've been seeing on X all day, brother. Nah, I'm sorry, dog. Sorry. Nope. Not gonna do it, bro. Not gonna do it. Roy said, "Go Panthers." Mo Legion, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? What's going on, Big Mo? Let me see. I'm not convinced Stone is even a depth signing. I don't know how you can call a player who allowed 11 sacks. Fact. That's why I said he might just be a seat filler. He might just be somebody they say, all right, bet we got a left tackle. Okay, and just another situation here for y'all as well. Well, let me get through a few more comments first. Let me see. All I know is Nick Scott got to go. I wouldn't mind Proctor from Bama. Yep. Let me see. And the Rock cousin at OT not flies back to Seattle with Mother Goose. Come the Rock cousin. Left tackle Stone is already my most hated Panther on the team. Damn. I mean, like, no, okay, don't hate the guy just yet. Don't hate him just yet. How you 6'8" and you don't weigh over 350? I don't know. Shoot, what's my man name from Miami? Is it Markel Bell, the left tackle, who's like 6'9", 360 something? Caden Proctor is 6'7", 366. But my man is like, he is an anchor. You know what I mean? And for his size, he moves pretty good. Okay. Now I don't know if the Panthers drafted him, if they want him to come in and shed a little bit of that weight, but that's between, then I could see that happening and I wouldn't be mad at it. But my man is built, but yeah, but this dude is 6'9", 312 pounds. 312 pounds. No. Stone more alone for because he's gonna be alone again on the market. Oh my God. Did Stone and Pickett's contracts get reversed? No. No. Excuse me, y'all. Said excuse me, 6'9", bruh. Yeah. So he getting cut before the regular season. I think so as well. I honestly think so as well. Look at his pressure allowed. Okay, hold on. I got it right here. Let me pull that back up. Okay. 40. Jesus Christ. 40. 5 penalties, 11 sacks, 5 hits allowed. Woo! God. Mm, 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 mm. Austin, what's going on? It's at Mr. Hunky Dory, Panthers O-line coach at Clemson's. I mean, Clem sucks. I mean, Clemson Pro Day looking at offensive lineman. Yes, he is. Wow, I can say anything decent about Stone without getting blocked on YouTube. Chuck basic cave over. Stone is light and already loses leverage due to his height. I think this was a panic signing due to Yash retiring. And the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, the Panthers offered Yash a contract to come back, but even with that, he decided to go ahead and retire. So, but I ain't mad at him. Shout out to him, and I wish him the best. Said that's when you put Madden on auto. Said got to be depth. Let me tell you, he might be so far down the depth chart that we might not even see him no more. I don't know. So he can't get low enough to do anything. Fact, like I said, that clip, him getting pushed back. I mean, he's standing straight up like this right here, and it's just like he was getting pushed back. It was like Jesus, take the wheel, because I can't feel my feet on the ground. I mean, just push straight back into the quarterback. So let me see. Don't scare me, Deuce. I don't need anxiety fits. My granny weigh more than him. Oh my God. We need another offensive tackle, period. Yeah, facts. Facts, Rock Jones. Facts. Stone so bad, he a pebble. Boy. So I see the pick now. It's 4 inches of neck. Stone low-key look like a young Stephen A. Smith. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but I got you. Oh, don't feel too bad. I tried getting up from a squat and partially tore. Oh, didn't need surgery, but still. Oh man. Okay. Well, I mean, I still think I'd rather tell that story than mine. But yeah, when I say I did that told me that, I said, what? Cause I thought I was good. I felt the pop. It hurt. I got maybe a mile down the street to a stoplight, and then I was fine. And then after the next couple of days, that third day, I was walking across the foot of our bed, literally dragging my foot on the floor. My wife said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to work." She said, "No, you're not." She said, "Call them, tell you not coming." She said, "I'm taking you to the doctor." And I just looked, as most husbands, I said, "Okay." Said Stones looks like he get bullied all the time. Know when to hold him, know when to fold. Icky injury may keep us from having to give him a bag. You know what? And it just might, because my thing is this. Now we're already on the hook for his 5th-year option because they already picked that up, last season. Okay, so he's getting $17 million to do nothing for this season as well. So when Icky does come back, like I said, if I'm the Panthers, I got to see what you're gonna do on the field for a whole season before I go and sign you for another contract. All right. Or I wonder if it's a thing where, as soon as he gets back, you know, are they going to go ahead and extend him? You know what I mean? And I'm not, excuse me, and I don't think we can rule out Icky playing next season at all. It's quite possible. He might he it's possible that he might be ready to go before the start of the season. And I say possible, and I mean that slight possibility. Okay, he might miss half the season. He might miss the whole season. We don't know just yet. Okay, all we know is that the surgery went well and he's recovering. So, but we'll see. All right. Let me see. I tore my meniscus 2 times and my ACL complete off the bone. So I know how I feel. I had 3 different knee surgeries and oh boy. Hey, shout out to you, Zach. Good grief. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you, the only good thing that came out of that knee surgery for me is I caught up on all the seasons of Game of Thrones. I had never watched it before. And I sat there on the couch and got all caught up before the last season. So, but yeah. He said Nick Scott gotta go like Trump ass. I said, Lil Hands Pickett, if y'all say he going to take Bryce job one more time, put some respect on Bryce name. Yeah, no. Kenny Pickett is competing for the backup spot. All right. If anybody think he's coming in and taking Bryce Young's spot off the rip, no, it's not going down like that. It's at first Pickett. Um, Honestly, I think they're going to trade back and kill the draft. Now that is an option. That is an option because you think about it like this. All right. Um, just say one or two, or maybe just say maybe two or three of the tackle prospects that they're looking at are still there at number 19. Okay, somebody's looking to jump up 19 to get somebody. They might be able to trade back, accumulate some more picks, and still get one of the prospects that they want to bring in, if that's the case. So I'm not disagreeing with this at all. Not at all. All right. All these injuries I've been saying, fire the trainer. I think they finally did. Well, at the end of the 2024 season, I think they did fire the training staff and brought in a new training staff. Because what they had going on before, I don't know what it was. I don't know what they were doing. But the thing is though, it's just like Icky. I don't know if that was a result of the trainers or whatnot, just a freak injury. You know what I mean? But who knows? I still think they're going to draft a rookie quarterback. Okay, I got you, Zach. I got you. I got you. All right, cool beans, cool beans, cool beans. But yeah, man, this is bruh, this is yeah, this gonna it's gonna be some furniture moving around this joint. If that Stone Forsyth guy is still on the roster and potentially playing come week 1. Yeah, but like I said, I don't think that this move was done as a permanent replacement. Okay, me personally, I think it's just kind of a placeholder, for now. I still think Luke Fortner does have a shot, to start beginning the season. But we shall see. We shall see. All right. But yeah, y'all, like I said, that's all I got. As I've been bit. Well, I was sick last week. Been kind of busy and still recovering this week. So I apologize, for the lack of content. I wanted to go live so bad last week, but when I tell you, um I could not have a conversation for more than about 2 minutes without just coughing up a storm. Like Uncle Leroy, I nobody could make me laugh and then I wasn't coughing for 5 minutes straight. You know what I mean? So like I said, I was going through it. I was going through it. But now, going forward, I'm gonna get back to my midweek mock drafts. Like I said, this next one that I come out with, should be vastly different from the ones that I have done before. Still might see some of the same pieces that I had in the first two. Okay. But yeah, Dan Morgan, let me tell you, hey, shout out to you. Like it says right here, Dan Morgan is cooking and let him continue to cook. I don't think the Panthers are quite done in free agency just yet. Okay. I still think there are some moves that they will be making when it comes to the draft. And I do think that the moves that they made in free agency does free them up to be able to attack the draft a little differently. Okay. And I say that because, before all of this, I wasn't a proponent of trading back much at all. Okay. I say we take the picks that we have and go get the best players at the positions of need at those spots. Okay. Especially with number 19. All right. Because in my mock drafts, I was taking a linebacker, taking an edge rusher. We picked up a linebacker, we picked up an edge rusher. So that might not be, well, it's not going to be a pressing need at 19 no more. No more. Now, mind you, I still think they pick up another linebacker, in the draft. But like I said, it's a lot more flexibility. I think this draft is going to play out a lot differently now because of the signings that we've had in free agency. Okay. But yeah, I love what Dan has done. I love the fact that he went out and attacked this free agency. Shout out to Brant Tillis as well. And the thing is, They restructured one contract, freed up $13 million. They cut one player, all right, and freed up another $10 million. Right now, mind you, I think that Tommy Tremble was another cut candidate, but if he was on the roster today at 4 o'clock, he was owed like another $3 million bonus, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think Tommy Tremble is going anywhere, but he was another person that, could have saved the Panthers, I think, another $8 million. But just think about it like this. Think about it like this. The fact that they restructured one contract, haven't done anything else yet as far as those, you gotta figure that the first year of these contracts for Jalen Phillips, for Devin Lloyd, going to be team friendly. The Panthers might not have to clear up that much more cap space, but just think about if they were. Okay, you got J.C. Horn, you got Robert Hunt, you got Damian Lewis. Who else on this squad is making a crap ton of money? Let me see. Hunt, Horn, Trayvon Merrick, Taylor Moton. No, they're not going to do no with him. Turk Wharton. Okay, so you got a lot of these guys who are making, upwards of $20 million and $20 million plus, that they could go in and try to restructure their contracts to free up some more money if they see fit. Okay. The only drawback with restructuring the contracts is you're adding void years to the contract. And there are years where that player is not going to be under contract, but you're still going to be paying them. All right. But the reason why I'm not mad at with Derek Brown is in his second contract. If Derek Brown keeps on being Derek Brown's gonna get a third contract. So you're gonna pay that man again regardless. Okay. If they got somebody else they feel like that, say a JC Horn. Okay. Maybe maybe a Robert Hunt, something like that. So they do have options if they want to clear up some more cap space. But Brant Tillis, he did an interview at the combine. They was talking about, how they plan 2-3 years ahead. So you think about all that transaction that they have made so far. They're thinking about them in the moment now and how this translates over into, next year. Okay. Because right now, as it stands, the Panthers have, $107 million in cap space for 2027. All right. But when all of these numbers get put in, as far as Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd, and the rest of the free agents they've signed, that number is going to go down. Okay, it's going to go down a good bit just off of those two guys right there. Like I said, they are thinking, and planning ahead from year to year after year. All right. But like I said, I love what they did. They freed up enough money. They were aggressive. Okay. I think that the moves that they made, especially on the defense, have, put this defense in a position where we could potentially be a top 10 defense. Okay. But I also think that's put us in a position where the defense can be more. I know I talk about the offense being more consistent. The one thing I want to see the defense be more consistent on is holding leads late. You know what I mean? I give you a prime example: the Saints game. All right, we up 17-7, and we end up losing the game. All right. Now, mind you, I know everybody say, well, the offense could have went out there and scored, put them up points. Yes, but the defense could have went out there and held their own against Tyler Shuck and damn Saints offense that everybody is hyping up like they're gonna be the best thing since bottled ketchup. But I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not saying it won't happen, but yeah, yeah. As of right now, I mean, I ain't gonna say they're bad, but in my opinion, I think they're getting hyped up a little bit too much right now. Kind of smelling themselves a little bit, as the old folks say. So we'll see. But yeah, late in games they can be more consistent, in holding teams from being able to come back and score late. I think that will propel this defense to another level. And also, like I said, now you got to get the offense in shape and get them to where they can put up more points on top of the defense being able to hold opponents late from being able to score. So we'll see about that. All right. Let me see. He says that damn turf. Say yeah, cause of Brooks. We know he ain't moving no furniture. LOL. I'm done now. Man, let me tell you, I flip everything over in this joint. Austin said, welcome back, CJ. Oh, yeah, mock draft definitely different. Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Let Dan cook. Dan and Brant Tillis. Facts, facts. We need to stop putting DJ Wanham in coverage. That's nothing but the damn truth right there. Nothing but the damn truth. You know, but Evero, he loves to play that 4-2-5. Okay. So it'll be a situation where he'll bring, like I said, he'll bring Trayvon Merrick down. It's kind of that, big nickel spot. He'll put Lathan Ransom back there. Nick Scott will be the free safety, and then you have Horn and Jackson outside, and then you have three defensive linemen and one edge rusher / outside linebacker. Or in some cases, you have two defensive linemen and your two edge rushers, on the outside. So he likes to he likes to change it up, but I agree. I definitely agree. And the one thing I will say this too, if Dan and Dave, I think if they want to, to get this defense and take advantage of everything that they have done, I think they're gonna have to sit down and have a little talk with Evero as well, about his scheme and in certain situations what he's doing, out there. Because it's just like, okay, so you have had subpar talent for 2-3 years that you've been in Carolina. All right, and we have continued to try and bring in better talent year by year. Okay, and I think they have done that. All right, and not saying that the pieces that we brought in 2 years ago were top talent. Not to say the pieces that we brought in last year were top talent. Can't say that this year. We brought in top free agency talent this year. So I don't know if that's going to mean that Evero is going to, in my opinion, get out of his, scaredness to to be aggressive at times. Or, are we finally going to see the city of Charlotte come and cone off that parking lot, the defense that Evero likes to play? That's what I call it, parking lot defense. Okay, because the cornerbacks and safeties are so far back, they're in the parking lot of the doghouse across the street, across Moorhead. Okay, they play so far off the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 3, and your cornerbacks are 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. I said it before, and I say it again. I could take my ass out there and run a route for 3 yards, catch a pass, and get down. Okay, I might be able to I might be able to go out there, take the snap and complete a pass, for a few yards or whatever. So hopefully, one thing that will come out of the talent that we brought in free agency, hopefully it would open up Evero's defense a little bit as well. Because if y'all notice too, even in the game where JC Horn was out, you see the times where Mike Jackson, he got a few snaps where he was not playing, 10, 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. Now, I'm not saying, that on some of those plays it's not warranted, because you don't want Mike Jackson out there against a speedy wide receiver playing press coverage. He's going to get beat 90% of the time. Okay. But the thing is, you also don't have to have him playing 10 yards off the ball and it's 3rd and 3 or 4. You know what I mean? You seen last year, I've seen Mike Jackson play close to the line of scrimmage and be able to kind of sit close to the sticks and be able to get up on the receiver and make plays. But if you're 10 yards off the line of scrimmage and that shorter down the distance, by the time and the thing is, and then you're bailing at the snap as well. You know what I mean? So you're backpedaling. So by the time receiver makes their route in, out, or wherever they're gonna go, quarterback throw the ball. Now you're in catch up mode. Trying to get in and the play is done. And I say that for him. I say it's happened to JC as well. So but we'll see. We'll see. I just hope that this can get Evero out of that kind of protective dome coverage that he likes to play in that prevent defense. Be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe Devin Lloyd will open his defensive playbook up the way he feels like he doesn't have to do that, because now you have a middle linebacker who can play coverage across the middle of the field. Okay. So yeah. Said yeah, exactly. Yeah, at the Marriott. Yeah, they playing they playing at the Marriott. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Randall, how you doing, buddy? See, yes, sir. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and get up out of here. Because let me see. Dom, what's going on with you, man? Say, yeah, mega points. I appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you. But let me go ahead and get up out of here. Like I said, thank y'all being patient with me, as I was recovering a little bit. To get back to the normal schedule here. On your way out, all right, if you haven't, if you would, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me on all social media at Armchair GMCJ. And again, I appreciate the love and support. Thank you again to Mr. Hunky Dory for the 10 gifted memberships. And for all you that they now have memberships, welcome to the front office. All right. And I appreciate all y'all being here. Okay. So again, Dan Morgan is cooking in free agency. I hope he continues to cook. And when it comes to the draft, I hope that pot of gumbo ain't done yet. I hope he throw in some more spices in that bad boy and keep on cooking. Keep on cooking. All right. So as always, Panther Nation, I'm gonna leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. I'll see you.